I'm going to take a moment to introduce myself, and then I'm going to pass it over to Nicole so she can introduce herself. And then she'll talk a little bit about what this webinar is going to cover. We ask that you remain muted throughout this whole webinar. If you have any questions, please use the chat or wait till the end of the webinar. We'll have a Q&A session. So my name is Ryan Rich. I'm a driving instructor with the High Performance Driving School program. I am a coordinator for the autocross program, and I'm a coordinator for the car control clinic program. Love everything to do with vehicles. I got started when I was about 16 years old, and I've been doing this for about 16 years. I'll let you do the math. And you'll likely see me out at all of our events that involve driving in a older BMW 3 Series, a 1987 BMW 3 Series. Got a big wing on it and a bright red cage. So if you ever see me at an event, feel free to come by and say hi anytime. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Nicole.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nicole. I'm a driving instructor, so in-car instruction, as well as the classroom instructor. I also instruct at the car control clinics, and I definitely am in attendance at autocross events. I've been doing this for nearly 14 years now, since I was 16 also. Started with car control as one of my first events. And you'll see me around in a 1998 Alpine White E36 M3. So this webinar is basically a welcome to new members and any members who maybe need a little bit of a refresher of how things work logistically at the racetrack. So we're going to go over a few things here. First, very generally, the events that we tend to offer to members are the CCC, which is the car control clinic, autocross, and HPDE. We will go into more detail in each of these events later in the presentation. As a reminder, this is a very general logistics talk and presentation, so this is not track specific. This will be like general information for any track event that you might want to attend. Preparation for the event will be included in this, which is the night before, like pre-event, way before, the night before, and day of preparation of what you might want to expect logistically, how the event's going to play out, like the typical agenda, how things will run for the day, track versus classroom, and then we're going to have some post-event reminders.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and jump into what our HPDS program offers. Most of you, if not all of you, have already signed up for this event, but we just kind of wanted to cover what the program offers and what growth looks like inside of our program. So hopefully you're already aware that we offer in-car instruction or coaching. You can take comfort that everybody out there on the track with you has an instructor in the car. If they do not, it's because they have either very specific sign-off to where they are ready to go solo, or they are part of our S group, which you guys will unlikely be on the track with. And they are with an instructor of high caliber, which helps keep not only you safe, it keeps everybody safe. So we offer in-car instruction. That's where a car physically sits with you in the vehicle. And they give you both real-time feedback when you're on track and then feedback once you get off the track. And so this is a really great way to, like, when you're out there, you know you're not alone, you have somebody with you. When you get back in and you had a chance to catch your breath, there's an opportunity to discuss what happened and what you learned with an instructor right then and there. Not quite anybody in this group, I don't think we're there yet, but we have data coaching as well, which is really awesome. It's where we take state-of-the-art data acquisition units and we place them in the vehicle. And then after each session, we review that data with a driver. It removes a lot of the it removes a lot of the guesswork in what's going on. It's data doesn't lie. It's very clear. It's kind of binary. It either is something or it isn't something. And so when you get to a more advanced step in your driving, we offer data coaching, which is something not a lot of programs offer. And then we have a classroom. After each one of your sessions, you'll make your way to the classroom and you can discuss what happened in that last session. And you're going to discuss some driving techniques that you can work on and improve throughout the sessions that are coming up. Everyone from your session is in that classroom. So you're getting to bond with the people on track and then again in the classroom. So it's a great opportunity. For our AB groups and our S groups, we have on-track exercises that focus on passing techniques and driving side by side and things like that. So someday when you reach that level of driving, you'll get to do those exercises. They're a lot of fun. We've got a ton of great feedback about them. And we have seen lots of improvement in our AB and S groups' ability to handle passing and avoid all sorts of trains. We have a really clear path to growth here. You got your D group all the way up to your A group, and then from there you got S group and ADC. And so there's a really clear path from going from an absolute beginner to a completely solo driver where you are able to, you know, drive on track, interpret data with a coach, and things along those lines. So we try to make it a really clear path of growth for everybody. And finally, we have an excellent safety record. We pride ourselves on that. Both you and your vehicle safety come first to us, and that's something we take very, very seriously. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back over to Nicole to talk a little bit about the preparation for the event.
Alrighty, so we're now registered to be in this event, and so we're preparing now. It's important to know what to bring. So the first thing is your helmet. As you can see in the photo here is 2 samples of helmets. If you don't have a helmet, unfortunately, we don't have loaner helmets out right now because of COVID protocols. So you'll need to purchase one. You can order one online or go to a store, like there's a store at Sears Point Raceway, and you can purchase the helmet there. It is important to make sure you're purchasing the right helmet. So we normally look at the Snell rating, and it's needs to be an SA or M 2015 or newer. There should be a sticker inside of the Snell helmet with the barcode inside. And if you're not sure or you don't want to go in there and start opening up your helmet or don't know what padding to remove, you can go ahead and check the list of certified helmets online for Snell. So next is your attire. You want to bring appropriate attire. I am guilty of wearing pretty much gym clothes there at the track when I was a lot younger. But I do recommend wearing clothing that is covering a little bit more, just in case there's any incident. The car gets really hot. There's you could be walking by a car and hit your leg on an exhaust and it's super hot. So I recommend pants. So just keep that kind of stuff in mind. It can get really hot if you're at Buttonwillow or Thunder Hill Raceway. It's a little bit cooler at Laguna depending on time of year. So just make sure you have enough layers to cool off and also in case it gets cold. It's also important to have some drinks and snacks in you throughout the day. Generally, we do have coolers with water available. We do want to make sure you're hydrating all day. And if you have any type of allergy to food, make sure you bring snacks with you. The track does generally have a restaurant. It's not totally, it's more like a grill setup. So there will be options for lunch there. All right, so then vehicle preparation, you're gonna need to have your car teched. So that you're gonna need to take it to a mechanic and there's a tech sheet that you will fill out. This should all be included in the email that you get. While you're at the track, obviously once you drive there, you're gonna catch a lot of bugs and stuff on the way if you're at Thunder Hill or Buttonwillow. You wanna be able to clean the windows, you wanna clean the wheels, torque the wheels, make sure they're torqued well at the track. A lot of times you'll have people there who bring a torque wrench and who bring Windex to clean the windows. If you have them available to you, go ahead and bring them. It's good to have your own set. Finally, we on to track insurance. These are options in case any incident happens on track. As Ryan said, we have a really good safety record. Doesn't mean that things don't happen. So it's important to look into this if that's something you're interested in. 2 options are like Haggerty or Locked In Motorsports. I saw a question about a full face helmet. Yes, full face helmet is recommended. Ryan, is that required? Oh,
2020 phrase of the year. I couldn't find the mute button. It is not required, just recommended. We do have people who use open face helmets, but protecting the moneymaker is important.
Exactly. So yes, you can have an open face, but we do recommend full face if accessible to you. All right, so now back down to booking a hotel. So you will get a confirmation email, which is going to explain early check-in at the hotel, at one of the hotels. You don't have to stay at that hotel or the hotel recommendation. So any hotel in that area will work for you. We just want to make sure you're aware that if check-in is at a specific hotel, that you know that you may need to drive there. It may be driving distance away, but in some of the towns, it could just be walking distance away, especially in over by Thunder Hill or Buttonwillow. Depending on where you're staying, you could end up walking distance or driving distance. All right. So in terms of additional resources, in order to prepare for the event, we will make those available to you via email after this webinar. And just remember, you're not alone. There are plenty of first timers. So if you have any questions, just ask. Everyone's pretty friendly. So I'll go ahead and pass it on to Ryan now again.
All right, let's talk about the night before the track. This is when things start getting exciting. Biggest thing you got to do before you start to leave for the track is make a plan. If you're planning to leave the Bay Area, which most tracks require, you're going to want to be aware of traffic. Friday night, traffic is not pretty. I have left and it has taken me over 6 hours to get to tracks like Thunder Hill and Buttonwillow. So really, go on Google Maps, Apple Maps, Waze, whatever your map service of preference is, and take a look at traffic early in the morning. Maybe it's worth leaving at like 2 o'clock and hanging out at your hotel just to avoid, sitting in the traffic for 6 hours. But really, that's one thing that I find a lot of newcomers are like, oh, I didn't expect the traffic to be that bad. And it's like, yep, that's a tough lesson to learn the hard way. So we're hoping to help you not have to learn that one the hard way. Make sure you count for the time it takes to pack up your car. If you're bringing stuff with you, make sure you're aware of that. It takes time to load up a car. And if you're rushing to load the car up before you leave your house, it's possible you're going to miss or forget something. I know I've done that more times than I can count. And even though everyone at the track is incredibly friendly and there's probably what you need at the track, it's a lot better just to not be rushing and take your time. And if you're leaving late, let's say you look at that traffic report at 5:30 and you're like, oh, that's right, Ryan told me to check that in the morning. I waited till 5:30 and now it's a 6-hour drive. I'm just going to wait because, the Maps app says it's going to be, 3 hours if I leave at 9 p.m. Just keep in mind that if you're leaving at 9 p.m., you're not arriving until midnight. You're going to be fatigued. You'll be tired. A lot of people don't realize how much excitement they carry throughout the day before the first track event. So just be cognizant you're not driving to the event fatigued. It'd be really sad to have something happen on the way to the event. Be sad to have something happen at any time, but especially if it's before you've got to have some fun. So once we're actually at the event location, general location, you should go check in at the hotel. We offer early check-in on the Friday night before the event. This typically occurs at one of the local hotels and it occurs at 8 p.m. However, that's not a hard and fast rule. That can change based on many factors. So the best place to find out when that's going to happen is that student confirmation email. So read that over. It's great to make it to early check-in if you can. That way, Saturday morning, you're not stressed about, having to find the trailer, stand in line, take care of all that stuff. You can do it the night before at the hotel. Next thing is making smart choices. If anyone has been to Thunder Hill or Willows, California before, you know exactly what that first photo is. And it is the reason we love Casa Ramos. If you haven't been there, they make excellent margaritas. Absolutely fantastic. Great thing for Sunday. Friday, not a great idea to go out and drink a lot or eat a lot of really terrible, unhealthy food for you. Make smart choices. We love Casa Ramos. Make smart choices. Nobody wants to see you hungover at the track the next day. You're not going to have a fun day. Your instructor's not going to have a fun day. It's just not going to work out for anybody. That said, check out Casa Ramos. It is delicious. Last thing is getting enough rest. It's going to be hard to sleep before your first track day. I know it was for me. I think it was for most of us here. Make sure you're doing everything you can to get enough rest, get to bed early, and ready yourself for the event. It really does make a difference the next day in terms of how much material and knowledge you can both obtain and retain. And with that, we're going to move over to our next slide. So let's talk a little bit about go time. It's the morning of the track day. There's a theme here. Let's see if you guys can guess it. Probably closer to a millennial theme, but we'll see. That's what you get with millennial presenters. So the first topic we're going to cover is, dude, we arrived at the track. What does that mean? Well, you've gotten to the track. It's a good idea to get there early. Before you even get there, though, check out the track's website. See where the entrance is located. It's not always the clearest of where the track entrance is at. And if you go on the website, there'll be a map there that you can find that'll guide you to exactly where you need to go to enter the track. Once you figure out where you need to go, now you need to know what time to get there. So gates open at 7 a.m. I recommend getting there at 7 a.m. The later we get towards the day starting, the longer the line at the gates get. And if you show up let's say 8 o'clock, and it takes you 30 or 40 minutes to get through the gates, that means you're panicking for the next steps that are coming for your day. A lot less time to kind of, get to the things you need to get to. I like to do things very cool, calm, and collected. I like to take my time with things. And so it's going to be really important that I get there early and I have all the time in the world. If I'm waiting around in between things I need to get done, that's a win in my book. I'm going to pass this over to Nicole now.
All right, dude, where's my car? So this is in reference to where you're going to be parking. When you drive into the track, we call it the paddock area. So this is where you're going to see, hopefully by the time you've gotten there, if you get there around the same time as the instructors, you'll see cars being parked. This is different for each track event. So I can't be too specific about it, but you'll see the area when you see it. So just go ahead and pull in. And if you're not sure, go ahead and park somewhere and ask. And someone will be able to direct you on where you should be parking. There is generally a covered parking section, but this is limited. It's generally for trailer parking and for there's tons of other reasons, but avoid parking there. Park in the other areas where you're gonna later on unload your car.
All right, I gotta hit the button twice to remember we gotta cover both of these at once. First one's, dude, what's in my car? And dude, is my car ready? So first, when you get there and you finally find a spot to park in, you got to start taking stuff out of your car. Anything that's not bolted down can become a projectile very quickly. So if it's not bolted down, it's out of there. This includes floor mats. Floor mats can interfere with the use of the pedals. Hopefully most of us know about the whole Toyota Prius acceleration thing, floor mats, all that bad stuff. Better just to take them out so there's no risks. So once again, if it's not bolted down, let's get it out of there. But is your car ready after you've gotten everything out of it? Almost. It's a good idea to clean your windshield. Grab some Windex, grab some rags, get that windshield really clean. Like Nicole said earlier, if you just drove up, it is likely your windshield is covered in all the finest bugs that the track, the route to the track had to offer. And you'll want to get those off your windshield so you have a fresh start to acquire new bugs throughout the day and weekend. So once your windshields are cleaned, time to check your tire pressures. If you don't have a tire pressure gauge, you should buy one. You should have one whether or not you're doing a track day. Really great thing to have, increased gas mileage, safer vehicle, all sorts of stuff. Buy yourself a tire gauge. Check your tire pressures. See the student information that is emailed out to you to determine where your tire pressure should be set. They have some recommendations in there, I believe. After you do that, this one's more optional but recommended. If you have a torque wrench, just check the torque of your vehicle wheels. If you had recently had your tech done, you don't own a torque wrench, but everything is signed off on the tech sheet, you're probably okay to go. The tech sheet has a section that says, hey, is everything torqued properly on the wheels? But if you have a torque wrench and you're showing up to the track, it's never hurts to do that extra safety check. All right, I'll pass it back over to Nicole.
All right, dude, where am I supposed to be? So here we have a diagram. Ryan, do you want to pull it up? Perfect. This kind of shows how you're going to be entering and exiting pit lane. And as you can see, the cars that are parked diagonally, when you come in, you're going to drive up to whatever tent you're in. As you can see, there's yellow, white, green, blue, and red. So you drive up to your tent, you're going to pull forward a little bit and reverse in. Generally, no issues here. So just make sure you're looking out for traffic and people who are going to be parking into a tent that you're going past. So just be patient here. And as at the exit end, so once you drop your instructor off at the end of the session, you're going to exit from the front side back out to the paddock area. So it'll make more sense once you're there. If you're confused, don't worry. You'll see the cars moving around and it'll make sense to you once you're there. So in addition to not only the diagram, we're going to talk about the student meeting. It's important not to be late to the student meeting. Check your schedule when you get the schedule after your check-in, either at the night before at the hotel or the morning of. You'll see what time you need to be there. It's best to be a few minutes early to the meeting. If for whatever reason the instructor meeting, which happens before the student meeting, is still going, you'll just have to wait for all the instructors to exit, and you'll know because it's a mass exit of yellow shirts, and then you'll be able to go in. So you can wait in the lobby area outside, but you don't want to miss the student meeting. It's very important. And in addition, in terms of general schedule review, after the meeting, each group will have classroom and track time. So you'll need to refer directly to the schedule that you get, and it'll explain at what time you're going to be on track versus classroom versus open time for yourself, and then lunch obviously as well. So just make sure you refer to the schedule once you get it. Back to you, Ryan.
Oh, I just reset my slide. Look at that. Fancy technology. One more thing I want to call out really quick is on this diagram, you'll see there's some squares here, a red square, a blue square, a green square, a white square, and a yellow square. These are our tent colors. When you complete your check-in, you'll get a sticker with your tent color on. Your first time going out to the hot pits, you're gonna go back in and park next to the tent that matches your color square. At that time, your instructor will come find you and chat with you. And so that's where you'll be introduced to your instructor for the day, and they will be an excellent resource to help guide you through the day. What to expect, anything we're not covering here, they're gonna be there to help you. So make sure you're getting to that tent early so your instructor has time to introduce themselves and chat with you before you're going on track. Once again, we never want to be rushed. Final one, dude, where can I get help? So if you need help, if you see something that looks unsafe, you're just feeling lonely and you want to chat with somebody, first thing you can do is go to the chapter's trailer. It's a big white trailer. It says Golden Gate Chapter on the side. It's got cement stripes. You can't miss it. It's like 35 feet long. Typically, it's located in a central place inside of the paddock. For example, at Thunder Hill, it's going to be in front of the main building. At Laguna, it's near the front of the garages. And so it just kind of varies, but it's going to be located in a pretty centralized location. It's usually staffed, and there'll be someone there you can chat with, and they'll be able to help you. If you don't see the trailer's not close by, grab someone with a yellow shirt. There's a 95% chance, there's a 95% chance that it's going to be an instructor, and hopefully not just somebody wearing a yellow shirt. With that, side note, if it's your first event, try not to wear a yellow shirt, or people are going to be asking you questions you might not be able to answer. Grab someone with a yellow shirt. They're all members of the HPDS instruction staff, and they will be able to guide you to the most qualified person to answer your question, or they'll be able to answer your question. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and toss it right back over to Nicole.
All righty, so the event is over. We've all had so much fun. You've now had your Casa Ramos margarita. So you want to check out your photos. You're going to get some really cool photos from Got Blue Milk. Ditto is the photographer, and
that sounds expensive.
And it's free, it's included. So you will get to have some awesome memories of your track time. Ryan, if you want to click, we can show the cool photo I have. So this is one of my favorites that was taken. So this is at the Corkscrew at Laguna. So you're going to get some really cool photos at the event. So definitely check that out. An email should be sent with the link that you can go to, and generally the trailer for Got Blue Milk is there, and he's got his website posted there as well. Next is going to be reviewing and evaluations. So the evals kind of go three ways here. You're going to review your in-car instructor. Your in-car instructor is going to review your performance so that you know what you can work on in the future. And then your classroom, you're going to be able to review your classroom instructor and the materials that they presented to you in class. So definitely important for all of us so that we can all learn and be better for each other and make the event better. So we do appreciate the reviews and evaluations that are given back. So as I said in the first slide, we do more than just high performance driving events. We also do a car control clinic event and autocross. So the car control clinic is really about strengthening your skills in throttle control, braking, steering control, and a lot more. These events are generally hosted at Crow's Landing, and they're tons of fun. This was one of the first events I ever attended when I was 16, and I just got my driver's license. So it's a great opportunity for new drivers, but I continued to attend these events while I was even still going to the track and autocross, because it really helps you fine tune your skills and keep your car control going, because at times you will use car control when you're on track, especially if there's rain or if you run into anything that you need to be quick with your hands and smooth with your throttle. We are now offering different types of car control clinics. We have a teen car control clinic, which is specifically for teenagers. We have an advanced car control clinic, which covers a lot more than the general car control clinic. So that one, it unfolds really nicely into kind of an event that walks into an autocross, so that you're not necessarily so overwhelmed at an autocross if that happens to scare you. It used to scare me because I used to see a sea of cones. So moving into the autocross, this is so much fun. It's a course that's coned off, and you basically get to compete with your friends or whoever's there to see who can go through the course the fastest. This is the closest semblance to a track dynamic because it is a course that you're driving, but it's a really beautiful split between track and car control in a safe and fun environment. So highly recommend both of these events if you're interested in trying something else. Go ahead and pass this on to Ryan.
Yeah, and autocross is a great way to continue to hone your skills in between track events. It's a place where you can truly drive 10/10ths and push the limits of the car with very little risk. And they're surprisingly affordable at only $85. Definitely not a replacement for track driving, but if you're looking for a way to continue honing your skills in between events, that's a great option. So on to the last topic here. We love feedback almost as much as we love our volunteers. I want to mention that our program is entirely volunteer run. From every step of the way, we are volunteers. From our board of directors all the way down to every one of our instructors to the staff to make the event possible. So if you're interested in volunteering with us, we would love to have you. Shoot us an email at the email address at the bottom of the screen, and we will find you a job or find a way to get you involved. And it's a lot of fun. It's very rewarding. It's why I've been coming back, at least. If you have feedback, though, we want to hear it, whether it's good or bad. Once again, use that email, send it to us. It's how we improve. It's how we know we're doing things right or wrong. So if there's something we're doing fantastic, we also want to hear that. There's more here, though. One last thing. We don't have a bullet for it, but it's really kind of a cool thing we're trying different at this event. So if you take an awesome photo or an awesome video, you know, of people getting their car ready in the morning, or people chatting around a car, or your car on track or something like that, with the exception being we're not going to have got blue milk photos because, you know, those are professionally taken. We can't use them. If you provide us that content and we love it and then use it in our marketing materials, we'll give you a $50 credit to a future event, whether it be autocross, car control clinic, or HPDS. That's only if we use it, but we're always looking for marketing material. So if you've got something really awesome, please send it our way. We'd love the opportunity to check it out and likely use it in our marketing materials. Once again, that email address at the bottom is how to get that to us. And so we definitely love to see all the content you know, our students provide. It's absolutely awesome.